A little technical difficulty here with these goddamn SD cards. Seems like every time I go to do something, the goddamn SD card or the tape recorder fucks up. Anyway, I am at VCU, and we're going to start your little Docutary here, over here by the art school. This one's for Myra, the girl that used to grab my thighs in a photography class that you can see right back there. She was adorable, cute as shit. Last semester, last fucking goddamn semester in last year here, so I didn't get a chance to follow up, but she's the one that sent me the little card after that little disc I did or tape I did for her to let her know I liked her. And she sent me this little sweet card right before the contrived incident down there at 200 West Franklin in 1995. So anyway, she used to, I didn't even know who she was, and we were in photography class, and we get in the dark room, and I feel these little fingers on my thigh. I turned around one time, and there she was. Oh, she was adorable. And she had this she'd wear these little crop tops and stuff. She was adorable. Anyway, I think it was her. I'm not sure, but I was at the Starbucks up there, the one where Pigtails was, during the most recent incident, and I could swear that she was the one that walked in there, and she came in there twice. And one time I was sitting in there and waiting for something, I think, or maybe I was in there writing or something, waiting for a table. And I was sitting there, and there she comes up to me, and I didn't know what to say, because I hadn't seen her in almost 30 years. There's a story behind that, but I hadn't seen her there in about 30 years, and she just peered into my eyes like I was a robot, and she looked a little disturbed, and I was like, what the fuck is, what the fuck do you say? So I didn't say anything, but she came back one more time after that. She didn't say anything, but she looked pretty much the same, just a little bit older, still cute as a button, just, like I said, a little more professional and older, and she must live up there somewhere, because I saw her 2 different occasions. At the Virginia Commons one. And the story behind that is that, when that whole incident was done in 95, my father was driving me up, Main Street by the communications school where I went. And they were all, crowded on the corner like they are during the year and during the day, and waiting across the street. And I turned over there, they had me pumped full of that L-O and all that shit. And I was mad as hell too, and I looked over there, it was almost like a movie. And I looked over there, and there's this girl way over in the corner. Had to have been her, I could have sworn it was her. It might not have been. I think it was her. And she just turned away, and she was real distraught, whoever this person was. And she turned away, and it was like she was crying or something. And of course we were sort of flying behind the traffic, and it was just weird. It was almost like a movie. So I don't know if they fucked with her or not at that time, but they must have if that was her. And this most recent time, I don't know why she was there. It didn't look like she was there for any particular, reason, like being fucking around or anything. So it was just weird, the whole damn thing. As you know, that whole incident recently was almost surreal. It's not my imagination that I was crazy like they tried to say. It just kind of built up over time and got crazier and crazier by the minute. And of course, you know what they did at the Wawa. Oh, Jesus. And so it was just weird. So what I'm going to do on this walk is just, I'm going to do this probably in 2 sections. I'm just going to walk the walk I used to walk to school through Monroe Park. I'm going away. I came up here this morning when I sent you those photos. And this time I'm rolling video just so I can capture them nuggets of history over where I was, because there's a lot of history down in this section. And not so much here at VCU, but this is where I went to school, and I'm sort of tracing my footsteps through history, and trying to get past some of the bitterness and craziness I've been feeling here lately about all that shit that happened. So that's why I'm kind of working on this thing, and I'm kind of, I told you in chat, how poetic this stuff is in a way, profoundly poetic. And, I want to do a recreation of that video, please, God, show them a way, and personalize it and adapt it to my life. And so that's why I was taking the pictures and stuff. I have no idea if I'll ever get around to doing it, because it's kind of complex. And, those videos are not easy to do, but I want it to be as potent as that one was. So I'm sort of doing that just for the hell of it. Get out of the house. We're in Monroe Park now. As you can see, that's Monroe Park. This is about where I was when I had that little moment with Susanna in the rain, when I realized that she almost expired in a car accident, driving drunk and stuff. Long story there, but she was one of the few that touched me back then. And, part of the story. I won't get into that, but I miss her too. I haven't seen her since I think 2007 at that Easter thing. My mother set up, and the whole family was sitting at the table, and I go in there. There she is waiting on us, and she got all flustered. I didn't know what to say. I wouldn't have been there if I'd known that. And my father kept looking at it, and she got somebody else to wait on the table. And but she seemed happy when I was watching her in the dining room. It was at the Berkeley Hotel. It's kind of a fancy hotel. That you do those kind of things. That real good food actually in there. And she worked there for a while, and we always did that Easter dinner thing. But I don't know if my mother did that on purpose or knew anything. I never ever told them about anybody I knew, so it may have just been coincidence. But it was so poetic being on Easter like it was, and I hadn't seen her at that time, 2007. I hadn't seen her since I guess 95, I think. So it had been a long time. And, the story about all the CDs I would send, or have sent over the years to her and Laura, her twin sister and stuff. So anyway, we're coming down Monroe Park towards Belvedere. Old common trip I used to take every morning from 200 West. And I got to catch the bus down to the plaza downtown, or on one of the streets in Jackson Ward as I go through there. So either way, I'll get home. But, it was so poetic this morning. It was just totally impromptu, off the cuff. And then I started, it was like meant to happen, all the history and shit. Because, my grandmother and stuff settled here in the 20s from way up in the country in Virginia when my great-grandmother left. She left for Kentucky, and my grandma came down here to Richmond, all excited, young, worked at a box factory, and settled down. They used to have a house on 10 West Carey, which is, it's a few blocks up from where I'm at right now on Franklin, by the old state prison that had been there 100 years. That's not there anymore, but anyway, a lot of stories about this area. And then I live here, and then all this stuff now. So it's kind of funny that way. And anyway, I'm going to try to get a few nuggets of Jackson Ward, the seat of the civil rights movement here in Richmond. And, it was real funny. That area there was always kind of the seat of the black community here in Richmond. And, you know, they were always fighting with the white people here, you know. It was segregated like shit back in the day. And I told you earlier on the chat about the Broad Street having both sides and the lunch counters. This, by the way, is the seat of power in Virginia. That's the Commonwealth Club. And that is where both Democrats and Republicans, big money lobbyists, meet up in secret and have their little society over there. During my contrived crisis, 95, I walked down the street one Sunday and it was surreal. They had a Scottish guy out here playing bagpipes. It was deserted. They had some event here, but nobody was to be seen. And he was just out there in the evening. It was like, not real late, but about 8, 9 o'clock in the evening. And I had this vivid, sort of lucid moment of peace, you know, at the time, walking down here. And boy, you know, that event was crazy as shit, just like this last one, you know. So that's kind of why I'm doing this too, you know. I won't heal from this and come back, hopefully. Can't promise that. I might fucking eat one the way things are going. But I should have ate one up there at 200 West. Let it drip down the wall. Probably would have been better off, but I didn't. So here I am, 28 years later, telling the stories of Richmond and the abuse that I've been enduring for a long time. Finally speaking out about that conspiracy openly. People may believe me or they may not, but I knew from day one that it was not me, it was something bigger than me and something unnatural. So all that generative AI you're working on, guess where it comes from? It comes from some of the shit that was done to me back in the day. That's when all that stuff blew up in technology. And, you know, that was the beginnings of all that stuff back in the day. And what we have today. And I'm going to walk by the infamous Davis Market. Used to be a 7-Eleven. It was Davis Market when I was here, independent. And that's how the contrived crisis began. Would you exchange secrets in Davis Market? Cheesy as it was, I knew it was just crazy. I could tell you more about it. You know, we have to chat sometime. There's so many details. But I'll show you what Davis Market is. And it was the same, pretty much the same it was back then. But the secrets in Davis Market, that was the biggest bullshit I ever heard. And, well, you know what happened later. And we were walking up the alley that I used to take sometimes through Davis Market. I used to go in there once in a while on the way to school because it was closed to get cigarettes or something. But I usually got them at the 7-Eleven up there by VCU or at the gas station up on Broad right before you cross Belvedere. And we're in the alley right here behind 200 West where it all began 28 years ago. There's my old room upstairs. That's where it began. The contrived crisis of 1995. Davis Market, government secret, the CIA sponsored conspiracy. And that's the fuck what it was. Still is. Can't believe I've survived this fucking long. But there you go. There you go. In the alley. And I'll take you around the building in a minute. Here. And here we are, 200. And the dumbasses cut the tree down. They used to have a nice tree there. They did this recently. The last time I was down here, I saw it. And before that, it was there. I don't know why they did that. But that's the apartment from the upper view where I lived. And that was a courtyard. And of course, behind me, you can see the Jefferson Hotel. And, you know, how fancy that is. A lot of political play went on there today. Still does. in the grand ballrooms. And now we're going down Grace. They got a police station here that was not here. That was a State Farm building at the time of the contrived crisis. It was empty, and I had gone over there one time in a madness, in a fit. I had my pistol with me, almost ate it in the hallway down there at the bottom of that building. The FBI was in that building at the time, but nobody knew it. But they were in there. They had an office somewhere in there, and now it's a police station. And it's been a police station for a long time. So here we go, up Grace. And let me get up here. And take a break here for a second. I see a truck over there. It looks like Kim's truck. I know her truck. She's got Life is Good on the back. Let me see if it has just for the hell of it. I don't think it does. It's a little darker. That would be fun. Be my luck today. Right there. Let me see. No, that ain't her. I know her truck. That ain't her. Anyway, that's Broad Street back here. And that ugly fucking thing they got up there. Boy, this city got some politics. Anyway, let me run up the street here, and I'm gonna cut this off in a second, and we'll cut over to Jackson Ward when I get further up on Broad towards the plaza where the buses. They got a new plaza there where all the buses congregate and go on their routes, which is kind of good in a way, because what they had down there was kind of half-assed before. And now they got a real nice plaza. Anyway, this is Grace, and this was always kind of a seedier side of the city streets down here. I don't know why, it just always was. So, there you have that story. And we're coming to what used to be the Republican headquarters for the Republican Party of Virginia. I think it still is. My sister, the fake liberal, lived upstairs on top of that in the 90s. When I had my apartment, which was hers previously, she sublet it to me, thinking she could fuck me, and I unfucked that long before she knew it. Boy, was she mad. But anyway, she moved over to an apartment right above the headquarters. I mean, literally right above the Republican Party headquarters. So they always had shit going on over there, because this was the middle 90s. You had Oliver North and all this bullshit here, the Republicans were doing here in the state of Virginia before Democrats wrestled things back for a while. And so it's kind of funny. And we're approaching what used to be a French restaurant. This fag my mother knew. I can't remember the details of the story, but he was an old Richmond fag. He had this restaurant you see behind me. Now it's called Chef Fushi, but he had a restaurant in there. It was supposed to be a real good one. I don't know how long he had it, but this was, I don't know, I think he was there when I was living down here. He was related to somebody. Somehow my mother knew. I don't remember the whole story, but we're coming up on the headquarters. So, if you're wondering, Rose, I'm kind of in a very deep, reflective mood after a blowout last night over this bullshit that happened to me. So I'm trying to calm myself down and just get out of that hole of a house I'm in that neighborhood for a little while, and come down here and just try to recalibrate. All right, that's the old Republican headquarters. I think it still is. She lived right above that. You see those three windows there? The second floor, that's where she lived. And Oliver North one time had his big trailer when he was running for Senate. against, I think it was Chuck Robb. That dumb bitch forced shit on it. I mean, I didn't like him at the time, but, you know, politics is politics. You know, you deal with it. But she put cat shit on top of his trailer. Yeah, you know, this is stupid. You know, like that's going to change anything. But I might add, Oliver North, you know, I always knew he got fucked in that deal. You know, that he was in. But, you know, of course, I'm a Democrat, was, so I always, you know, was fighting and playing politics with it, you know. But I will say, Oliver North has finally redeemed himself. Got after that fucking NRA, fucked them good, showed them for what they really were. And, you know, that's a big thing for him because he, you know, he was all behind them at one time. And, you know, the Republican machine. And, you know, he got tired of it. Lives in McLean. And, you know, he got out of politics for a long time. You know, you can't stay in this shit for too long. But that's the story there. Now we're coming up on Broad where I started. Now this was the white side of the street. And as you can see, that Coca-Cola building, that was the black side of the street. If you crossed this street back in the 60s, you got your ass beat up, and you did for a long time. My grandma had made a mistake. She came from the country, sat on the back of the bus. Oh, you didn't do that if you was white. And they stopped the bus and made her move, I think. Or I don't think they made her move, but the bus driver stopped the bus. Couldn't believe it. And, you know, up in the country in Virginia, you didn't have all that segregation and shit like you do here, you know, in the cities. I mean, you had bullshit going on, but you didn't have that. And this place has been there forever. This progressive barber shop. I'm going to take you by the old standard drug. All the politicians always stop in this place. When you run for something down here, you know, on the Democratic side, you better stop at the progressive. Anyway, this is, I think, what the hell street is this? I forget, but this is the old standard. That had been there for a long ass time. 20s, way back in the 20s, it was still here. And we're getting into Jackson Ward, you know, where that civil rights movement really started here back in the 60s. So there's a lot of history down here. And that's Maggie Walker's bank, used to be anyway. She's the first black woman to start a bank in this country. And she did real well with it, actually. She knew what she was doing. Some of these people don't know what the fuck they're doing. But there you go, another view. And I wish I knew more of the history here, but I'd have to brush up on it. But I just want to give you a quick run through Richmond's black history as I knew it as a white guy. You know, so, you know, obviously I don't know everything, but it's got a lot here. And back then, you know, you didn't have that ghetto element as bad as you do today. You know, a lot of these people today, they've forgotten where they came from. And they've forgotten what these people fought for. You know, a lot of these black leaders in this city, you know, they were up there with Martin Luther King. And, you know what he was. He didn't want to like drugs and killing and all that shit that goes on today. He'd be appalled just as much as anybody else would. So, but it's starting to come back, I think. Some of the younger black generation that gets educated, actually, believe it or not, are starting to realize things about their own history and about the history of the people that came before them. And that's very important, you know, to protect their own rights and all our rights too, because, you know, that whole thing with the racism goes further than that. It goes down to women's rights, that abortion issue, and a lot of other shit. And this is Jackson Ward, just the fringe of it. like right as you cross Broad, and this is where it was born. And then it stagnated with the killing of Kennedy and the projects. You know, that was the liberal fascists again doing racist shit, putting all those people, poor blacks, in the projects. And you know, now it's awful in there. It was awful in the 70s. You know, discounting them and marginalizing them, and that's why you have all these problems today in the white community, and also with the drugs and all that shit. So, you know, those things do make a difference. John's LBJ, you know, that was not really his intention to do that. It just sort of took a life of its own. He got sucked into Vietnam after Kennedy was killed. And it was the same people that killed Kennedy, you know, the underground movement that just did not want the common people to have what Kennedy thought or Johnson thought. You know, they didn't want equality. They didn't want any of this, you know, liberalization or respect for things. You know, they wanted their way and a rich man's good old boys club. And here we are today, reliving the 60s again because of Donald Trump and that crowd. And it's, you know, it's almost surreal. So, it's, now I'm down here in the convention district. I gotta walk further up to the plaza to get the bus. But that's just a little snippet of Jackson Ward. So, you know, I really need to go in there when I get my truck fixed. You know, that's fairly safe now. So you can't go through there. But I'd have to look up the history and, you know, more of the history and tell the story correctly, because I'm just telling from shit that I've heard over the years from people. So I don't, you know, I can't confirm this or that. So just be aware of that. But, and of course, my opinion's mixed in, but I think rightfully so, because I think this gets lost all too often, you know. And of course, you know what happened to me in Rankin County. Poor white man living in a poor black neighborhood. So, you know, I know what they've been through. And I had friends that were murdered in that drug frenzy in the 90s. 2 of them shotgun to the face. Mother tried to get them out of that shit. They went to Henrico High School right up the street from where I live. And they lived in Northside, further down in the city. So I don't know the whole history, but they got sucked into it. And they were old school, you know, 70s, you know, like Sanford school. You know, you pulled out a knife, you had a fight, beat each other up. You didn't blow faces off and murder people. Not as much, anyway. And, you know, they just somehow, they didn't realize that. And so the story goes, they're gone. And that happened right the year before that shit happened to me down there. So, you know, it was pretty fresh. And here we are. I think that's the Marriott Hotel that was owned by Doug Wilder at one time, or Parkland. He was the governor. And I'm coming up on where Friday Cheers used to be. My favorite little spot. Back in the day, they ruined it when they moved it to Browns Island and gentrified it. Got too big. We used to have local acts there. I'd go down there and get drunk like everybody and had a good time. We had that 6th Street Marketplace, which was a disgusting mess. That was city politics. Gone wrong, as usual. The Chucky years, as I call them. Boy, was that something. Finally, he got some sense. They tried to fuck him in Henrico. They tried to fuck him. I could go into it. I forget all the details. But they tried to fuck him. He sat in jail for 2 years for no reason. They were trying to fuck him in Henrico. So he finally got out of it. They got tired of keeping him, so they let him out. But he learned his lesson. He was an old Vietnam vet, heroin addict. And that kind of got him in, you know, when the roaring 90s were here. you know, with all the crack that Reagan had on the streets. He got sucked into it. Everybody in the city did, and especially in the political side. And so we had a murder capital for a long time because of that. That's what Reagan did. That was Reagan's new warning in America. Bunch of fucking bullshit. And that's the old Friday Cheers, 6th Street Marketplace. That's the only piece they kept. When I was here, they still have part of it left on the street, and they tore that down. This is no longer used. I don't know what they're using it for. They're getting ready to build something over there. It's gonna fuck it up again, because LeVar Estonian, he's a dumbass too, real big dumbass. Thinks he's gonna be governor or lieutenant governor. Big fucking laugh. Won't get my vote, but that's another story. Let's see, we're walking up here. This old hotel here, that I believe used to be for people at VCU that were, you know, it was kind of like a hospice kind of thing for cancer patients and stuff. And they would live in there and be treated over at VCU, as I recall, for a long time. And then they leave if they survive. But I don't know if it still is or not. But it was an old motel, and they did that. VCU Medical Center did that. And here we are, getting close to the plaza. So I'm walking down the back street because I don't like all the noise. And you see the federal courthouse. This is the old plaza. I don't know where that new one is, so I'm gonna have to find it. But that's right up the street. The federal courthouse, new one they built. You'll love this. Talk about all that immigration bullshit. The federal courthouse now, they had all this illegal labor building that federal courthouse, and then they want to ship them all home after they finish the courthouse. And they did do it to some of them, busted them and sent them home. Real nice country, isn't it? You think the UK is bad. Yeah, that was some bullshit. Yeah, higher than mighty. All this fucking bullshit. So goddamn funny. But it's not funny if you're stuck in the middle. Obviously, I'm stuck in the middle of this shit now. So, I know what it is. Anyway, where the hell they put that plaza? I don't know. So, I'm kind of lost here right now. It's supposed to be somewhere down there. Oh, I think I see it. So, let me walk down there. That we're at 33 minutes. That's John Marshall Courthouse over there. And that's where my brother spent a lot of time when he did law enforcement down here. And he spent time in that federal courthouse on federal cases. So I don't know why they fuck with me, because he knew people and I know people. And, you know, and Riker's gonna get the ass burned when I'm done. You know, I'm gonna make a point of that. Trying to fuck me like they did. And the fucking other people, they don't know. I know people that ran for governor down here, worked for some of them. Got Mark Warner on the intelligence committee, Tim Kaine, I worked for him. Worked for both of them. Worked for McClellan. She just got in the U.S. Congress. I knew she was going somewhere. She used to blow me off. I tell her, we didn't know each other well, but I told her, hey, you need to run for something. You're going to get it. She finally did. And almost got that damn McCall and fucked it up. I don't know why he did it. But she didn't get that in the primary. But she went on and took McKeachin's seat. And he used to be our representative over where I live. He's the one that I got fucked Henrico with before when they tried that shit with my mother. And I don't know what he did, but they never gave us a problem again. He lit that ass up, and they're gonna get it again. This time, it's gonna be bigger. And it might involve some lawsuits too. So, I can't wait to stir that shit, because I'm gonna shove it up their ass like they ain't never fucking seen. Tired of this shit. I didn't get in politics for a reason, because it was getting nasty as shit back in the 90s. And I chose not to get in. Well, they pulled me in. I ain't forgot my old tricks. I called that race for Wilder better than anybody else. I said 33,000 to 3,500. Came down to about a couple of hundred votes when it was certified. I had to wait 11 days. Nobody knew it but me. And I did that just guessing. I knew that race won't no New South. Like they were saying, they even said that on NPR. I was like laughing when I heard it. And I was in, J. Sargent Milne Community College at the time. So, I'll tell you something, I know my shit. And they think I don't. I do. All right, I think my bus is going right now. Let me see if I can get in here. There's all about 2 or 3 of them I can get. The hell is that? Oh, that's the one that I came down on, number 1. So they probably got a 1A. So let me go over here and see. And I'll probably have to turn the camera off in a minute. But yeah, this flies much better than I had. Because before it was over there, it was kind of ratty, run down. This is much better. So let me see if I can find a 14 or 1A. Man, that's the 50, that's the broad. I don't need to go up there, but I could. Let me get the 14 later. When it gets there. And let's see what the hell they got down here. They got everyone but the one I want. Hi. Forest Hill, shit. Where the hell? I just fucking missed it. Fucking yeah. Realize I miss that goddamn bus going out every fucking time. There's probably another one coming in here. Anyway, I hope you like this little video I'm doing for you. A little quick walking docutary of sorts down here at the bus plaza. Brand new. So, I wish the hell they had this earlier in the summer when they stuffed me over there in Chester. That goddamn hell. But I had to wait on them city streets all ratty over there. Nasty. All right, let me see what the hell's coming in here. All right, well, yeah, Rose, look behind me there. You'll see where I'm filming that parody of Homicide Life on the Street. I went down there one time when it was still a police station. I got a good cut in that motherfucker. Well, I got everything but. Now we're just doing a live babble. Till the bus comes. Just to give you something to laugh at. And I don't know what this is going to turn out like. I got the recorder running. It better fucking record the second track. If you hear a shitty audio track, it's because the recorder fucked up. I like to do double tracks, and when I start doing triple tracks, because that fucking happens every fucking time here lately. I did one last night. Thought that thing was on. I had it on. Stick it in my pocket. The goddamn thing wasn't on. So I had shitty audio. You do this video shit, you gotta have a couple of different tracks. Make sure you got it. Alright. Let's see. Ah, shit. Got everything but. Well, it's a nice day anyway, Rose. It's about 85 out here. Should have worn my mini skirt. I ain't worn it in a while. I ain't been in the mood. A good thing I didn't wear my cheer skirt down here. Boy, I would have caught hell for that one. Gotta get a new one. New uniform. Oh, shit. Yeah, right. You think he teach me how to do a leg split on liberty? Yeah. Give me liberty or death. I'll do that goddamn thing. Make a commercial with it. Stuff it up in Riker's ass. Give me a bunch of young girls to cheer with. Yeah, that'll be a good one. Really piss them off. Assholes.